I said this in the Bill Belichick part. The Giants lost to the Panthers 20-17. For whatever reason, there has been like a little bit of a notion that Daboll and the GM are safe. The Saquon debacle in the offseason is inexcusable. And I think the owner hates him because of that, the GM. Because Saquon is right now probably one of the most important players in football. Next, I don't care if Daniel Jones is this bad. Daboll led this team with Daniel Jones to the playoffs and won a playoff game with Daniel Jones. So I don't really want the excuse that Daniel Jones isn't good. I want more of the blame, and I'm not defending Daniel Jones. I think he sucks, but they have had a winning season with him, and they have won a playoff game with him. They have, I think Tyron Chase is a good player. They added Malik Neighbors to this situation, and I still think that on a week-to-week basis, I think that he's missing plays, but I don't think that Daboll makes anything easy on Daniel Jones. At a point, you have to understand your limitations that you have at quarterback. And if you're not able to do that, that has to fall on the coaching at some point. Example, LaFleur with Malik Willis. He understands the limitations that he has at quarterback, and he calls the game accordingly. And I know that they said that there's going to be a little bit of a quarterback change, like Drew Lock might come in, whatever that might look like. That is something that I want to monitor for the rest of the season. You go and lose to the Panthers, it's a big wake-up call. And Bryce Young, like losing to the Panthers and Bryce Young, I am monitoring Daboll on the hot seat for the rest of the season because not that many people are talking about it. A lot of people think that those guys are safe. I just don't understand why they would be safe. I think anything's on the table for this Giants team at this point. They are absolutely awful.
I mean, I'm looking at it this way. The Giants have been able to somewhat run the ball the last few weeks. Like, I think Tyron Tracy's, that's his name,
He's
right?
good.
He's been solid.
He's good.
I just think Daniel Jones has gotten that much worse from a quarter. Like, I don't think the flea flicker was a great call. That was stupid. But there was plenty of plays where there was guys wide open and Daniel Jones just wasn't throwing them the football.
What was the first thing that you said in the beginning of the Bill Belichick episode when you said the Giants were not the team to get Bill Belichick? What was the first thing that you said? You said that if the Giants have a top pick in the draft this year, you don't think it's a good idea for them to take a quarterback with that pick. You think that they should take
I agree.
within the O-line. So
I agree with that.
There is every play somebody's in Daniel Jones' lap. I'm not defending Daniel Jones. He sucks. But at some point, you have to understand what you have from an offensive personnel perspective. And I don't think that he's doing a good job at doing that.
I think both things can be true simultaneously. Yeah, I don't think it's one or the other. I think Daboll does need to do a better job of that, realizing, okay, this offensive line for God knows why can't pass block to save anybody's life. So the response to that is, all right, let's get the ball out quicker. Let's run some play action to give Daniel Jones some time. But on the flip side, when he does have some time, he's got to be able to read the field and see these guys wide open. Like, what happened at the beginning of the season when Malik Neighbors was getting 15 targets a game? He's getting like 6 now.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. But
so either the defense has changed and Daboll hasn't made the adjustments, that's on Daboll, or Daniel Jones has just gotten to the point where he's completely unplayable.
And he doesn't.
I think it can be both. I think
he doesn't trust his own line. I think there's a ton of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, agreed.
But I think the thing that needs to be remembered when talking about the Giants and Daboll and all of that is he went and won a playoff game with Daniel Jones. And that is the only thing that I'm thinking about, like, when I'm judging Daboll at this point.
I don't even think that's a fair comparison to right now because of the guys that they had on that Giants team and the coaches that they had.
What is so different? What is so different? They fired Wink Martindale. They fired
I know that.
Wink Martindale.
I know that was a bad decision on their part.
Okay, and so you're telling me that just because they have minus Saquon, I think Tyron Tracy is a pretty good player. I think Malik Neighbors is a bona fide star. You added both of those guys. What's different about these teams? Not much. Their defense is better. They have Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau.
It is better on paper, but that defense was really good when Wink Martindale was back there.
But at a point, that was Daboll's decision to fire Wink Martindale. They were arguing about eating fucking pizza and tasty cakes in the back, and they didn't like each other. So that is another thing that falls on Daboll, is that he's notoriously been referred to as an asshole. And that was a big thing with Wink Martindale, where they would legit argue with each other because he was a dickhead. So I just think that for some reason Daboll is like flying super under the radar, and like you just went and lost to the Panthers last week. Like at some point he needs to start getting some sort of heat. The Jets are taking all the heat in New York.
Yeah, he's lucky. He's
getting nothing. That guy should be getting absolutely torched, and he never does. So that's just something I want to keep. I don't think his job's safe, and it's something I want to monitor for the rest of the year.
That's fair. I totally see your perspective on that. I don't think it's as hot as you think it is, but I definitely think it is worth paying attention to moving forward.
White clouds blowing out when we max 4-5, not the size, but it kick up. Highlight of my life, man.